Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And our question tonight comes to us from Red Dragon, who asked my opinion of new findings that Yahweh, the God of the Bible, in ancient times was worshipped along with a consort and a number of other deities forming a pantheon in ancient Israel, and that this preceded the monotheism for which Israel was later known. And Red Dragon asked my opinion of these new findings. And the first thing I have to say is that there's nothing new in these ideas. They've been around for quite a while. People have been aware of them certainly at every point during my lifetime, and I think really since the 1800s at least. And it is absolutely true. It's very clear that monotheism in the style of certain modern religions was absolutely not universal in ancient Israel. And there certainly were certain other deities who the Bible itself makes very clear were worshipped often against the wishes of the leadership, but very much by the people. And in particular, Mother Goddess was one of these deities, and some of them were imported from other countries. In the time of Solomon, for example, they talk about at great length, and as if it were the worst thing on earth, the fact that many of Solomon's foreign wives maintained the religions of their home countries, as presumably did their dependents and relatives who came with them. And so it was actually presumably a fairly cosmopolitan country at one point. And religious freedom may very well have been there for a while, before the coming of full monotheism. It certainly is true not only that in ancient times they were not as monotheist as they later were, but also that they were always at certain levels aware of the feminine aspect of deity, which has remained part of both Judaism and Christianity throughout its existence. And in terms of my opinion of these things, I would have to say that they really are kind of irrelevant. Just as the term monotheist and the term polytheist are irrelevant to reality because they're usually used in ways that have very little to do with what's really going on. And if you look at traditional Judaism and traditional Christianity, and you look very deeply, you'll notice that by the strictest definitions of monotheism that often their own people will endorse, they don't really qualify. And if you look at many of the pagan religions and apply the stricter definition of polytheism that many of their people endorse, you'll notice they don't often qualify either. And the truth is, we're all of us kind of in the middle. And I think that the thing that we really kind of need to concentrate on is the fact that we're all kind of in the middle and what we have in common, rather than the things that separate us. And I think if we can find ways to emphasize that, we're going to be much better off. Certainly, in the ancient nation of Israel, there were a number of other deities who competed for top spot. And interestingly enough, you asked this question on the eve of the anniversary of the publication of The Other People, a booklet published by Pathfinder Press 14 years ago this Wednesday, and written by Oberon Zell Ravenheart and illustrated by myself, which is a very interesting coincidence because The Other People is an examination of the book of Genesis from a pagan point of view. And among other things, it talks about the fact that some of the terms that are used in Genesis are not necessarily consonant with the way that they are translated into English, and that there are a number of questions implied, including the presence of two different creation stories, and the presence of other people who are not explained. And I highly recommend The Other People. I think that you can probably find it online. I believe you can still get it from the Aquarian Tabernacle Church. And it's a very interesting book that you might find interesting if this is something that you wish to pursue farther. And a number of people have written on this subject. Oberon Zell Ravenheart is one. The late Lawrence Durden Robertson is another. And they have some very interesting things that you may find enlightening regarding the practices of the ancient world. And so, those are my opinions on this, and until next time, may you blessed be. And check out my new subscription site, thedailyspell.com. For 12 years now, we've been sending out the Daily Spell easy and free of charge to literally thousands of people, and will continue to do so. Thedailyspell.com is a subscription site meant to augment that daily service with deeper stories, deeper news, videos, entertainment, information, many daily features such as Marianne's Mystic Gem of the Day, the daily tarot card, the daily bio, and many more things. So check it out. Subscriptions are $19.99, and until next time, may you blessed be.